Greetings from sunny South Florida. It's time for the Palm Beach Podcast. And the hosts of your show, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer. Photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Recorded live at the Media Zone Podcast Studio in Palm Beach County. Relax and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones, and I'm here with my co-host, Dr. James Spencer. How are you doing today, Spence?
Good to see you, bud. Beautiful skies outside.
Yeah, actually, it is a beautiful day outside, and we've got some great surf out there for all the Palm Beach surfers.
I know they're frothing just like you.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm salty right now for sure. And we have a special guest on the show today, Spence, if you want to introduce who we've got here.
Yeah, local legend, Logan Morrison. We were just talking about a few nicknames for him. A lot of people know him as Lomo.
Yeah.
Others know him as P squared.
What's P squared? Do I know this?
I'm sure some other people do, though. But, hey, man, thanks for coming on, honestly, and always good to see you, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Interested and look forward to the topics we're going to cover today. There's also a nickname out there that one of my teammates gave me. You guys will get a crack out of this one. It's called, they call me the Girthquake. I'm very wide guy, and not exactly graceful, so the Quake or the Girthquake, the Penza, Zik and Suma. We can go on.
What's your favorite?
Girthquake's probably got a special place in my heart. It's just,
Pure respect, right?
Yeah. But Lomo's a classic, so whatever.
Heck yeah.
It's more PC too, probably.
Whatever.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate you coming down to Singer Island and checking out the studio. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it's awesome. The weather doesn't hurt. The first time I'm coming over here, it was like 75 out right now.
75 and sunny, yeah.
Yeah, great time to be in Florida right now, for sure.
Awesome. And so you live in Palm Beach County now?
Yep, up in Jupiter. Yep, for sure.
Awesome. And why don't we let you jump in and tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit more about you? And
okay.
Yeah, like we were chatting about earlier, a little bit about the origin story, kind of how you got into baseball and kind of where you're at now.
Okay, so my dad was in the military. I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Then I don't know how old I was, but quick after that, went down to Key West where my dad was stationed. He was in the Coast Guard. Yeah. Key West for the hell was like 2. Then Newport News, Virginia. All the athletes come from there, so naturally. Alan
Michael
Iverson,
Vick,
myself,
right?
Michael Vick, yeah.
Yeah.
So no big deal. And then Wilmington, North Carolina, Trot Nixon, myself, yeah, no big deal. And then Kansas City, Missouri, back to Kansas City, Missouri. Andy Ashby, that's who I got for you. Pitcher, Padres back in the day. I'm sure there's way more famous people, athletes from Kansas City. I'm just not picking them up right now in my head. And then you got New Orleans. So I went to Slidell, Louisiana for the last 2 years of high school, and then was drafted by the Marlins and came to Jupiter. And then, when you're in the minor leagues, you bounce all over the place. But I would say like off and on, I've been in the Palm Beach County area for, 14 or so years.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Shit, longer than both of us.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I got to tip my cap to you then. Beautiful spot to live, baby.
I'm sneaky old or sneaky young. I don't know.
Hey, I gotta stop you there, but I know a couple of Jack's Beach locals here too, who also were a big Thirsty Thursday fan of you guys.
Yeah, playing for the Suns back in the day, man. That was
the Jacksonville Suns, baby, downtown.
That team was a lot of fun. We won a AA championship there when I was there in 2009, and Jack's Beach. Not my wife's favorite spot. There was she probably doesn't want me to tell that story, so I'm not going to. But
smart man.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun there.
Heck yeah,
a lot
bro.
of fun.
And then they swapped up and rebranded to the Jumbo Shrimp.
Now they are the Jumbo Shrimp. Yeah, I like the uniforms. And New Orleans went with the baby cakes, but now New Orleans is going to be done. They're done now.
Really?
Yeah. No
As
more
of
New
this
Orleans.
year?
Yeah. I think that was the last year. I want to say they're making an Arkansas team a AAA team, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
know. Yeah. So
Interesting. Cool. Well, that's that's good news to know.
yeah,
No more baby cakes.
No more baby cakes. I think the stadium is probably like suboptimal, and that's probably one of the big reasons why they moved it out. But
Sure.
yeah. So back to the life story. Yeah. Then we went to the Marlins. I got drafted by the Marlins. Was what was called a draft and follow. Pick number 666, by the way. 666. Sign of the beast. Yeah, Marlins.
Literally.
Yeah, Marlins should have known what they were getting into from the start. But yeah, they don't have these draft and follows anymore. So basically, I drafted. They control my rights up until the next draft. They could sign me up until the next draft. Ended up going to a year of junior college in Kansas City, back where my grandma was. Stayed with her. Played baseball there for the year. Signed with the Marlins before the next draft. Worked my way up. Went to GCL first stop, which is in Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Just back on the backfields. No atmosphere. Tough playing baseball there. 9 a.m. And then you got Jamestown, New York, also a tough spot. Good
Cold
people,
up there.
Good people. The summers weren't bad. Just stadium not great.
Bad conditions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just on the bus all the time, and
Grinding.
you're going. It's small town upstate New York, and it's not great. That was the New York Penn League, and then you had the Sally League, was with the Greensboro Grasshoppers. That stadium, that spot was a little better set up for you to play every day. Sleeper bus, that was a big step up. Long bus rides, but you get to lay down. You get horizontal. It's a little different.
It's like planes, dude. When you can lay horizontal flying from fucking JFK across country.
Yeah, you're good. Or like, even you want to go like
or international.
Yeah, international. It's way better. So then from from Greensboro back to Jupiter to High A. The Jupiter Hammerheads was there for a year, and then
that's a good transition right there.
Yeah. So I would say that like the stadiums and like the lights and everything are better because they're big league spring trainings. No fans come, but the travel's way easier, way better.
Just Florida, pretty much, right?
Yeah, it's just all Florida. It's all Florida. So, and then after the Florida State League, you had the Southern League, which was Jacksonville, and then went to AAA. The following year in 2010 in New Orleans, and I got called up to the big leagues in July 27th. Made my debut in San Francisco. And,
how'd that feel?
That was awesome. Yeah, that was cool. The coolest part about that was probably getting to tell your parents, because you you busted out.
That's what you dream for, baby. Yeah,
you grind it out
man.
from day one from your dad, and with the ultimate goal, and then you get to tell him and her. It's cool stuff. It's pretty good feeling that you'll never forget.
I've been to a baseball game there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went and saw, Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds, I think.
Shit, back in the day.
Yeah.
The home run competition.
That was like the marquee lineup,
Yep. That's that was an exciting time in baseball.
Well,
ruined it because we can't take steroids anymore, but whatever. That park is beautiful. I don't always hold a special place in my heart because that was where I made my debut. But city's cool too. I always love the smells there. It smells like garlic fries for some reason.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stadium?
There's so many good ones. Like, I would say either Target Field in Minneapolis or Safeco Field in Seattle. Just like on this clear summer day, it's 75 degrees and you can't beat it. Right?
Just like today, right?
It's gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. There was some. Let's see. I would say the cities like San Diego. I love playing there just because the hotel, you can walk on a catwalk to the stadium. It's like you could eat off the playing surface.
So I got a story to tell about that. When I moved to San Diego, I'm looking out my bedroom. I'm like, oh, what fucking park is that? Mm-hmm. My roommate's like, oh, Padres, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked down there, and they had this this fitness center. You may know this, in left field.
Okay.
And literally all of the treadmills are overlooking left field.
That's cool. Yeah.
So everybody was like, hey, you just got to get a membership if you just want to watch a game. You just go work out at that fucking time.
Yeah. And it's your season tickets.
Oh, wow.
Seriously. And a lot of people, the membership was actually higher because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Still probably not as much as a season ticket, though.
Nah. Especially in San Diego.
I mean, that's some serious multitasking,
2 for 1. But
I thought about it. I watch football all the time. Love football. Thought about getting a cardio machine and just instead of drinking beer on my couch, I'm doing something productive and watching football.
Well, you could still do both.
Yeah.
Well,
Do your cardio first.
in Jacksonville, they put a pool in the Jaguar Stadium. So, you could go down there and swim some laps.
Yes. Do some spa moves.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen that crowd that goes in there. I don't know if
I wouldn't do it.
yeah, I'm not sure. There might be some.
They're peeing in there for sure, bro.
Yeah, there's some diseases or something in there that I don't want to catch, but it was a good thought, But they got a nightclub in football stadium for the Dolphins, right? They got Live in there, I think.
Well, and have you seen some of that shit on Barstool? All the chicks in the strip clubs?
Oh yeah, for the tailgates.
Oh my Lord.
I have not seen this.
Dude, you got to check this out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you didn't think that was actually like, where is that going? Like there's this balloon that just disappears and like it's really long. There's like, is that like coming out the other end? I don't know what's going on.
And that's the tailgate.
Yeah,
literally.
Lord.
Yeah. There's like I don't know what strip club it was, but strippers were like at tailgates. Yeah.
Scarlets or something like that. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool to live in this area, right? Because you can kind of go and get a slice of Miami, go up to Jupiter.
Yeah.
West Palm has baseball games as well. So.
No doubt. You guys been on the Brightline?
Well, I was just going to say the Brightline makes it fucking easy too.
Yeah. That's cool.
I know our friend Josh Cohen over at ESPN Radio would like you to use code ESPN on the Brightline. I remember
25% off your first ride.
Old Joshy Poo.
Yeah, and apparently there's White Claws in there now too. So,
There you go.
I think a good friend of ours just took it down to Fort Lauderdale, and he said easy.
Yeah.
Easy ride.
So yeah, it's about a 20-minute drive, I
say.
think, from like where we're at to the station in West Palm, and then it's like it's easy. It's so easy. It's so quiet, nice, and the next thing you know, you're in Fort Lauderdale. 45, 50 minutes later.
Well, and hopefully that connects to Orlando as well.
Yeah, eventually. I don't know. They said they're going to start on it this winter, but I don't know. Yeah, we'd be going to Disney a lot then. Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for me. Maybe we could hold off a couple of years.
No brainer with the little ones, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it gives us something to do. That's
and
for sure.
easier, honestly, just way easier. I know Mike made the trip a couple weeks ago up there, and listen, if you could sit on the train and either be productive, or do something, versus having to drive and dealing with that stress, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, I wonder if I could bring a treadmill on there.
Well, I was just thinking maybe we could get a little fitness going,
or just put a swimming pool in there. I'm just gonna keep this idea going.
Perfect. That would be a party train. I could handle that.
The Brightline pool.
Yeah,
that's the VIP area.
When you talk to their marketing department,
memberships only.
Yeah, too much.
It'd be the right place to do it in Florida. I mean, shoot, it's always bikini season here, right?
I mean, but from the sounds of it, you've done some time in the Northeast, and public transit's a different thing up there than it is down here, right?
Yeah, it's like a must there.
Yeah,
There's just so many cars and people all in one spot, Yeah, I've so when we play the Yankees, it's either like a 45 to an hour drive in a car, or it's a 45-minute subway ride. So I've done both. At night it gets a little sketchy, but during the day it's fine. So yeah, the only problem is like when you play a game and you come off it's like, oh, I got to walk how many blocks to the hotel now? All right, here we go. So
I don't want to do that.
I didn't know,
especially if it's fucking cold out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, it's freezing in Florida. It got in the 60s this week. Wow.
Well, I know how to bust out a hoodie.
Yeah, pants are on.
Yeah, all the basic bitches brought out their UGG boots. So, including my wife. Love you, honey.
Everybody.
No, she didn't. I'm just kidding. Just talking shit.
No, but seriously, my wife did.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they can't help it. It's like, oh, it's kind of cold. This is awesome. I'm going to wear my boots.
In her defense, she's Puerto Rican, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
And they have been waiting like at least 8 or 9 months to wear that outfit,
Yes, no doubt.
Which is very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Maybe even more months, actually.
Yeah. Depends on when you if you bought it on sale because summer was coming type deal. Yeah.
The summer special.
Yep.
Speaking of summer specials, cheers, boys. White Claws.
Yeah,
Cheers.
absolutely. We're still waiting for our sponsorship, White Claw. We're hanging tight.
They're a sponsor of MLB Network, but that doesn't mean anything. because I can't help you with that.
Just a side note.
Yeah, just a side note.
I love it. I love it. So moving here, what was what was your favorite kind of transition about why, other than work?
Yeah,
really brought you to the area.
Well, so I guess my wife, really, she likes it down here. Is she local? Yeah. No, she's from Ohio.
Okay.
She's from Ohio. Moved down here after college, just love this area. She actually lived off of 45th and 95, and now up in Jupiter. But yeah, I mean, she loves. I think everything that comes with Florida, you can be outside all year round. Her friends, everything like that. So it was like, all right, we were going to rent back here, and it was like hard to find what we needed for renting. So we ended up buying something. So
smart investment.
Happy wife, happy life. Yeah,
you know the deal.
No doubt.
What's some of your guys' favorite places to go in Jupiter?
Yes.
Putting you on the spot. Baby.
Yeah. I enjoy like Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza.
Always.
We often go there. Thirsty Turtle is another spot we like to go.
There's some underground spots. These are not
yeah.
The locals only.
What's the spots that like you've heard of most? Like what do you?
Oh, like Jupiter's typically like Square Grouper or Guanabana is like the ones that come off the top of the mouth first.
And those places are cool, right? But I don't know. It's just like Guanabanas is actually like the atmosphere, the trees, like all that stuff's awesome, right?
It's so nice.
Like I could take or leave the food. You go there to drink, it's cool.
Totally.
Music and drinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pelican Club, the new wedding venue spot.
Heard about it as
well.
Yeah,
so maybe you guys could do like a live podcast or something like that from there at the brunch.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, they love brunch.
Maybe we have to start a little brunch show between the Polo brunch.
Traveling podcast. Yeah.
This is something we've pondered.
And then you could get a coffee sponsor, maybe Bailey's.
We're already working on it.
There you go.
Did you say Bailey's?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll take Bailey's. Who else, Mike?
I think we'll probably have to reach out to Pump House Coffee since they are a
Pump House Coffee,
a Singer Island business that we've been chit-chatting with. So we'll see about that coffee.
Perfect.
Maybe get a little boost here in the studio.
I have seen some wedding photos from the venue you're talking about, and the place looks amazing, like at sunset, because like pink skies behind the lighthouse. Right. Yeah,
it's really cool. We actually went to a wedding there a couple weeks ago, and then the cool part is you can walk right to Square Grouper right after the after party, so that doesn't
that doesn't
hurt.
suck. Yeah.
It's not that I don't go there. It's just that like we're talking about food spots. We're talking. It's not like. I don't even know if Grouper has food actually, but Luana's not up there.
I think the fish dip is pretty good there.
Yeah, I've heard kind of stinky, but I've heard it's good. Utiki, I don't often eat there, but like drinking there. Maybe I have a drinking problem. I don't know.
It's just so hot outside in Florida. Like,
you
just have to drink stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Water, that kind of thing. I love sushi, but I'm struggling to find a sushi spot in the Jupiter area. So if you guys have any suggestions.
Sushi Joe?
So that is it still Sushi Joe? It's right by Rocco's, right?
No, the one off of
North.
Nope.
I don't know where this is.
I was going to say
PGA?
No, it's right off of Donald Ross and US 1. There's one right there. There's one in West Palm.
Oh, yes. We went there with Cliff. Yes. Okay. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Cliff, huh?
Yeah.
We've been waiting for Cliffy D's to come on the podcast.
You need Cliff on your podcast. You got to have him. He's be way better than me.
He's coming on this week.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. It'll be a different experience for the viewers. That's for sure.
But yeah, so I would highly suggest Sushi Joe's. If there is a Sushi Yama around.
Oh. So there is one. Where is that? Is that off of? It's in that little. It's military and PGA.
Yes, I highly suggest that.
Oh, you know where else I go? It's awesome, and it's been like the first time I went, I didn't enjoy it, but it was like 7 years ago. They've changed it up or done something.
New chef.
Three Forks. Three Forks is like, I love Capitol Grill, like chain steakhouse wise, but Three Forks stepped it up, dude. It is unbelievable. They have this like bone marrow thing there that's with jam and beef.
What is it, like a
cheeks
soup?
and shit. No, it's like
Sounds like
a
an
paste of
Italian
butter.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bone marrow. Never had bone marrow?
No, I have, but it was actually the bone marrow, and it was in soup.
Scoop it. Oh, really?
It was the actual bone, and you would scoop out the marrow, and then the marrow was in the soup.
So this is the bone. You scoop out the middle of the bone, and then you throw it on a piece of bread with braised beef cheeks, I believe, and some jam. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Sounds incredible.
Pretty good. I didn't even know I liked beef cheeks, but apparently I did.
What are beef cheeks?
Is that vegan?
I believe that's the exact opposite of vegan.
Oh Lord,
not it, huh?
Yeah,
You're a vegan?
Absolutely not. No, I'm just making jokes over here
White
because I'm
Claw,
drinking
I don't
White
know.
Claws.
There's some there might be some animals.
There's definitely animal protein in there.
I always want to growl when I drink them, but I don't know why.
So transition into now here we are.
Yeah. Played in the big leagues for like 8 years. And
the Rays, I got to tell you, the Rays.
Yeah.
A lot of people loving you there, bro.
Yeah. Tampa was fun, man. And that's when I had my best year, so I hope that's where they love me the most.
Well, of course.
They don't like you if you're not very good.
Well, plus, how was it to play for Joe?
So I didn't play for Joe. I actually played for Kevin Cash.
Okay.
Joe
came the following year?
Joe was actually before Kevin. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And now, shoot, I don't know. I don't even know when that was, to be honest. I think Kevin was there for like a year or two before I got there. Maybe just 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went team wise in the big leagues. Went Marlins for 3, Mariners for 2, Rays for 2, Twins for 1, and then a little bit with the Phillies last year. So,
dude, long stint.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes by quick, man. It's crazy. You hear all these people talk about like don't blink, that kind of stuff. It's like, damn, that was 8 years ago, that was 7 years ago, that type of thing. But 2010 made my debut, and yeah, it's it feels like I blinked and it's gone. But a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun doing it.
And those damn Facebook memories, they don't stop reminding you that you're getting older, do they?
That's I had to get off
it. It's like 9 years. It's like 9 years ago.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shut up, Facebook.
I know that
you feel old.
Exactly. I know that's how I feel. Like when Mike and I first met, we were in college. It's like 14 years ago. This pops up. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, and really, Facebook was the first year that they were like kind of open to like schools only or whatever.
Yeah,
that was my freshman year, and so. Like that was the first time that anyone posted like anything online besides like MySpace or something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And so like when you look at whatever happened like 10 years ago at your photos,
Shut up, dude.
You're like, what did I take this on?
Was this like the camera? Yeah.
Shitty camera.
We actually had cameras back then, not just phones. Yeah.
It was like the very first iPhone.
Yeah.
Super SD resolution.
Yeah, that's how far we've come. It's crazy. You'd think like I remember being like, why would I want to post something that I'm doing like online? And now like if you don't post something online, did it actually happen? Like who knows? The tree fall in the woods. Did it make noise?
Pick to prove it.
Well, and you have to find a balance, like because we opened a company that literally just helps people with media production and document what they're doing, and so there is like you have to have that fine line of where am I being productive and where am I just like living in my own head thinking what people want to see.
Yeah, no, I mean you got to separate that for sure, right? Definitely had some like interesting conversations along the way with some people, with some players, trying to come up with like a medium for the players. They have like the MLB network, they have the NHL network, they have all that kind of stuff, right? But all those are basically owned by parties with different interests than the players' interests.
Sure.
They have like the team's interest at hand. They're owned by owners, those type of things. NBA is a little different because they split revenues, whereas like MLB and the players' union go against each other head on because at every turn, MLB will try to suppress your salary versus like, we're trying to make our way up, keep going up, right? So being able to have a platform like you're talking about to document what people do off the field, on the field, that kind of stuff with the big stars, getting, I guess, a fan base to not only see what you do on the field, but off the field be huge for players, give them a lot of leverage when it comes to like negotiating and CBAs and things like that. So hopefully that gets up and going. But yes, to your point, yes, you do have to realize like, hey, this is actually interesting, or this is just like me being like an idiot and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, and I would say, do you see that changing in the future?
See what changing? Like what?
Some of that context of things as far as like more support for allowing you guys to document more and leverage that?
I don't believe that teams or owners or who are front offices care what you document on or off the field, as long as it like doesn't hurt their brand, their name. But like I also think that if they had it their way, they would just have you go onto their platforms to make money off of you, to turn around and sell that for advertisement, right? And then I feel like because we aren't growing the game together, we are at odds, that like hurts the players.
Yeah.
So every time that like you go onto a network like that, you're actually hurting your teammates or the guys coming behind you. But if we were to create our own thing where we could do that, then you start to gain a little bit of leverage, and you don't have to like, and that would help us actually avoid a strike or something like that, to where it's like they're not going to listen to you until you make them listen to you, right? So like, why would I like meet a demand you want, or why would I think that's a good idea when it's going to ultimately take money out of my pocket? We're going to force you to make us do that. So if we can like show that we're taking money away from them and putting it into our pockets, that's all the leverage you need.
Totally.
Right.
And just out of curiosity, coming from like a person who is not a professional athlete with an agent, do you get like recommendations from them or from the team, like, hey, no Instagram stories, or like, hey, like, don't post this, or do they leave it up to your discretion? Like, how does?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much, there's like a set of guidelines I think the MLB has, and it's basically like, don't be an idiot, don't hurt your brand, don't hurt our brand. As long as you do that, like, who cares,
post
right?
What you want.
Yeah, post what you want. Now, like, I think like early on there was some like pushback on that. I can remember being on Twitter and getting a lot of pushback from like, why are you on Twitter? Go hit in the cage. It's like, what do you mean go hit in the cage? Like, it's 10 o'clock at night. I've already done that.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Just be a baseball player and that's it? Shut up and dribble type thing?
Right.
Let's go watch more tape.
Yeah. But so now, like you say, you see that changing. Like, so now like LeBron James is, I mean, this is a totally different story. Like, he's here, I'm here, whatever. But like LeBron James is coming out and being like a social ambassador now, which is great, which is awesome. And then you have people telling him to shut up and dribble, or shut up and go hit in the cage. And now there's like pushback on those people saying that to him, right? So I think that's a part of the change that's helped the players. It's awesome. Guys like him have definitely helped push the needle. So.
I completely agree, and even like I think it was AIG hired David Beckham to be a spokesperson for health. And I think you're going to start to see that more and more often as people are coming out and speaking more of brands and leveraging that opportunity. I remember when I was an athletic training student at UNF, it was literally like protocol. You're not allowed to go on Facebook. Like, you weren't allowed to post anything. You weren't allowed to be on there because it took away from the team. Yeah. And now look how it's kind of come full circle. And I mean, shit. Just
now the team
15 years,
wants you to, like, the team
exactly.
Like piggyback off.
They're like, hey, we have empty seats. Can you guys post some shit?
Yeah.
Truthfully.
No.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's pretty neat to see a lot of the college athletes that are possibly going to start getting paid on certain situations as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but it's well overdue. I mean, you see the numbers that are being thrown around, and these guys are, putting their lives, their bodies on the line, and
same for you guys though.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. Same
for you guys. I mean, that's where if you have 1 million followers and you're bringing that much leverage to their brand, that's why there's companies out there to evaluate that.
Right. So I think like so you can like talk about numbers or whatever, but like look at like, you know, it's baseball money. Like everybody like compares baseball today. They do have the biggest contracts for individuals, but they don't pay anybody else, right? So like, oh, there's nothing wrong with baseball's economic system when you got Bryce Harper making $330 million over 13 years. Like that's a crazy deal. Nobody signs those deals.
I'd sign that deal.
Why is baseball in a bad spot? Well, if you like dig in a little deeper, like it's stars and scrubs, right? Like it's not the best of the best anymore. It's Bryce Harper versus a guy that should be in AA.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's Manny Machado versus a guy that was in low A and has a year of experience in professional baseball, because they don't pay the other guys because they don't have to. You know, they say, why doesn't baseball need to promote their stars better? They don't want to promote anybody else other than their stars.
Correct.
Because then they have to pay them.
Correct.
Right? Like when you go...
Well, you and I both know that minor league money and big league money are completely, or 40-man roster money is completely different.
Yeah, like, listen, I'm not saying that it's anywhere close to this, but like when you go through the minor leagues, many people quit. Many people ring the bell, like on the Seals.
They don't
like
have a choice.
I'm done. Like I don't want to do this anymore because I'm getting no money. I have a wife. I have a kid. Like I need to go like make a real, like be an adult, you know. And I can't wait to see if I can make it to the big leagues or not. You know, and that's sad, right? Like these guys have devoted their 25 years of life to something, and now they're not going to be able to capitalize on what they've done. And hopefully they have a backup plan, things like that. But, you know, it is what it is. That's what happens when you're not that good. Well, yeah, but like, look at like, I would say that like there's baseball had $10 billion in revenues last year, right? $10 billion. That was up $1 billion from $9 billion the year before. We get the players, it's broken up right now at like 33% of the revenues. And it's going down. And so like 70, whatever percent with the owners. And, you know, if you look at that, like it wasn't like the 60% like you're in the early 2000s, right? But now everybody's like, oh, we can't spend money. We can't do this. We can't do that. It's all optics. It's all PR.
Sure.
You know, the New York Yankees make $700 million annually, just locally in the New York area, $700 million.
That's not like jerseys and ball caps and stuff.
Right. But Brian Cashman's saying that he has directives from above to stay underneath the luxury tax. And the luxury tax is not a cap. Now, there is financial penalties if you go over that cap, but they're not extreme. So, like, again, we're talking about $10 billion in revenue.
Like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. If you go $20 million over the luxury cap, it's a $2 million fine.
Which is
that's a white claw.
Penny. Yeah.
It's a white claw to them. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, now I get it. Like, who wouldn't want $2 million? Like, yeah, give me $2 million.
Sure.
Right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But, like, yeah, like, you got so many teams that drive this $10 billion. There's only like 5 or 6 of them that drive this. And they used to go over the luxury tax because they didn't care. Like the Dodgers, they'd go over. Who cares? Like, we're trying to win. We're trying to win now. Well, they stopped doing that. They want to get under because it's financially smart. And people have been like, yeah, why would you want to pay these guys this money? It's not like they're taking it from you. You think their ticket sales are paying us? No, that's not how that works. No. The tickets are going straight to the owners. Unless it's the playoffs, then we split the gate. Everything else that is like,
and that's contractual as well.
What's that?
That split.
Oh, that split. Yeah, that's in the CBA. Yep. And that's another thing too. Is like, so the front offices hire the staff, right? The support staff, but the players are expected to tip out the support staff for helping us out through the year. Okay. Well, we're also when we get to the playoffs and we are getting our shares, we're also expected to give them shares. Right. But they keep like the front offices and the support staff just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is a good thing for the players to have these resources. But at the same time, it's like you guys are hiring them and you're promising, and they've been promised something they can't come through on. They've been promised playoff shares. And it's like, no, like the players get to decide that. Well, you know, then people get screwed out of what they think they're going to get. And it's just, you know, but the owners take exactly like that half that they make, whatever it is, right? That you have it. Yeah. And they're not going to like, oh, okay, you didn't get the players didn't give you here some.
Here's your bonus check.
Well, and I think there's probably a lot of guys in Palm Beach County they can relate to you. I mean, there's a lot of minor league teams around here, and so I think your message and your story will really resonate with a lot of the listeners.
Well, and I mean, I know a lot of the younger guys. They may be working other jobs. In the off season.
Yeah, I had to. I worked at a card store when I was in the minor leagues. Yeah.
Bingo. Not even really being able to dedicate your whole life to training.
Yeah. And the thing is like, you can train all you want. You're going to have some free time. So I guess you could work, but like, I mean, I feel like you shouldn't have to. Like, if the big leaguer players are like the CEOs of the company and they're making this money,
follow their footsteps.
There shouldn't be that big of a disparity between the guys in AAA, right? Like, if a league minimum is $500,000, but like league minimum in the minor leagues in AAA is $7,000, like there is a huge difference there.
Huge difference.
And it's because the minor league players don't have a union. And like, yeah, it'd be awesome to get them unionized and all that stuff. I don't even know how that all works, but
it won't.
Yeah, no,
I think it's too big.
Yeah,
I think it's too big, and that's also kind of the perk of also making it from minors to majors.
Sure. Like, you want to like have some incentive. Like, I understand
totally,
that, but like when you start playing this game, you don't play it to make money. You play it to get to the big leagues. Like,
sure.
So like, that's all I'm saying is like, give me a better chance to make it to the big leagues by giving me a little more support when I'm grinding my ass off in the minor leagues
versus eating bullshit food and barely making it.
This is like the biggest misconception in this thing, I think, is like the ticket prices that people pay baseball players or pay any athlete. And that's not accurate at all. I think we're paid mostly by advertisements, but every team knows what they're making, and before they open up a gate, before they throw a pitch, they already have all these revenue sharings and things like that divvied out. So MLB Network, they make $800 million a year. The players get 6 of that because they don't need us, and we signed that deal for some reason, the PA. And the owners, 30 owners, pull in the same direction. So they split that $800 million, the rest of the $800 million up evenly, right?
Only 6%.
Only 6%.
That's what you said the players get?
They get $6 million out of $800 million. That's less than 1%. Yeah. And like, again, yeah, you're right. They don't need us, but if like we stop going on there completely, then you're gonna have Bill Ripken with his thumb up his butt, like telling us how to field a bunt, and you're gonna lose viewers, right? So like, if you want to hear Josh Donaldson's theory on hitting, you're not gonna find that there, because why would we help somebody who doesn't have our best interest in mind?
Sure.
That thing. And like, and the crazy here, like when a new stadium is built, the first thing the owners want to do is get away with like charging the taxpayers, put in the tax. You get a penny on a dollar for the next 70 years. It'll be taxed and it'll pay for the stadium, and you guys won't even know it's gone. And it's like, but dude, it's a $10 billion industry.
Right.
The players are only getting 30%, and somehow you're crying poor and you can't afford your own fucking stadium.
Meanwhile, the taxpayers and the athletes are getting screwed.
Well, and I'm turning my
and then they've turned the fans on us. Like, it's always our fault. We're rich, overprivileged, like just whiny babies.
Which ain't I mean, look at the athletes nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it, you experience it.
It's like I said, you grind it out when you're in your 20s for $7,000 a year. Like, I don't know if we're overpaid and overprivileged, but I do think we should get our fair share.
I completely agree with you on that.
Well, and I don't turn my TV on to see the beautiful stadium and to watch the advertisements.
Right.
And
but they think you do, because we have to get the game time under 3 hours. Directives from the commissioner, which, by the way, there's a whole, okay, I'm gonna get into this.
I love it.
3 hours is what they've deemed that their numbers say that will get us more viewers if we can get under 3 hours. Well, we can't get under 3 hours. They want to put a pitch clock in. They want to speed the game up any way they can. They've seen all this shit, right? How come not one time have they brought up the fact that they will lessen commercial timeouts? We don't need 2 minutes between an inning.
No way.
I don't need 2. And then when you're a national televised game, it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. We don't need that.
Maybe you could just get rid of the third out and just use 2 outs.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's just as good of an idea.
Yeah, they're just running like it's basketball but baseball now.
Well, I'm just thinking about the Cardinals fucking marathon that they had this year, where they went 14 innings, 15 innings.
Yeah. So like, there's some ideas that I do like that they have, right?
Sure.
Like putting a runner on second base with extra innings. Like that'd be good to do that. Speed the games up.
Expedite it. Yeah.
I also like the home run derby thing. Like, okay, it goes to extra. It's tie game, extra 9 innings. No, we're not doing extra innings anymore. We're just doing this hitter versus this hitter. They have like hitters just on the team for home run derby. And then it'd be like you ever seen those softball long drive guys? Like,
dude, genius.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. That would get a lot more people in the stands. Or like it's like penalty kicks, but like,
yeah. How can we get that approved?
It should not be my idea. It should be somebody else's.
Well, I've got an idea.
And where do you draw the line of preserving the integrity of the game and the history and the record books versus making a game fit into a certain time slot that works for viewers?
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of that stuff. So like, me as a player, like, I do see where. So I would love to. It's an unbalanced schedule right now, and you have. It's not when the Braves and the Phillies have their interleague matchups. Like the Phillies play the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who the Braves play, but the point is that like, it could be unfair to like, there's teams not trying. Here we go. Washington Nationals, their natural rival is the Baltimore Orioles. Washington's in a wild card race at the end of the year. The Phillies are in a wild card race at the end of the year. We're playing the Boston Red Sox, which is a better team.
Sure.
And they're playing the Baltimore Orioles. So that's every year that happens. But we'll only play the Baltimore Orioles once every 4 years.
That's a big
difference. They play in the Red Sox once every 4 years. So like the 162 games, just make it 142 games, and then you lengthen the playoffs. In baseball, there are 30 teams, but only 8 of them with the maybe 10 with the wild card make the playoffs. That's the least amount in the three big ones. Yeah. Because you have basketball is crazy. They have how many people get in there. Football I think is a little less, but still it's more. And then NHL is like 2 months long worth of playoffs.
That's true.
3 months long.
And I know in the NFL, they moved some of your in-conference games to the end of your season every season. So, for example, in Jacksonville, they play like the Colts, who are their divisional rival, December 20-something every year. Like for even bragging rights, if both teams are out of it, at least they're going to put something on the field.
Totally.
Yeah, that's not the case in the big leagues, unfortunately. Like we talked about or touched on a little bit earlier, it's like there's no bragging rights. There's no, owners have flat out said, we don't care if we win. We're going to stay underneath this luxury tax if we're the New York Yankees, which if George Steinbrenner was still alive, he'd be flipping shit. And now the Red Sox fired their general manager because he was over the limit and didn't go to the playoffs. But won the World Series the year before, but he's fired. So basically what I'm saying is like winning doesn't matter to them, and that's unfortunate. So you have to make it matter.
Totally.
So you take down the amount of regular season games to 142, and then you increase playoffs, make winning, incentivize winning, make it more valuable to the owners to put money in their pocket.
And you haven't thought about this
not at all. Not at all.
I was just going to say, do you need to come in and start your own podcast here at Media Zone?
Fun fact for you. The Washington Nationals had the oldest roster in the big leagues this year.
No shit.
And they won. Another fun fact for you. The year before, the Red Sox had the most expensive team in the big leagues. Everybody's up in arms about being over the luxury tax, but they won a World Series.
But they won as well. Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to win, then don't go over, I guess. I don't know.
Well, or, I mean, listen, it's also...
But they don't want to win because you have like the Rays at $30 million a year. Or the $60 million a year.
Yeah, but look, you guys are still fucking competing over there.
That's because they have really good research and development and scouting and things like that.
Totally.
But that's not common. Like,
no.
When's the last time they were in the playoffs?
Probably when you were
It's been a while. No, I didn't make the playoffs there. It was...
You didn't?
No,
Wild card?
unfortunately. No. It was before me, so it was probably when Madden was there.
Yeah, the golden years,
13.
Longoria and Crawford, and
Yep. And so like in teams like, and it's not incorrect, but just the way that they're going about it. You always point to like the Cubs or the Astros. They're going to tank and then they're going to be really good, right? Well, they were the only two teams doing it at the time, right? Sure. So it was easier to get number 1 and number 2 overall picks. Well, now you have like half the league doing it, because if you're not first, you're last apparently, and then in our Talladega Nights league.
I love it.
So we're even laughing because we were watching the Dolphins game on Sunday.
Yeah,
and the Dolphins fans were like, they can't even suck bad enough to get the first pick.
No, exactly.
The Bengals got it because the Bengals don't care either.
No, exactly.
Right. So like the Bengals and the Dolphins are going there, and I just kind of want to go as like a satire, like this is what's wrong with sports. I'm here because I'm supporting the opposite of this. I don't like it's, but
the 10th place trophy.
It's outrageous. Like they should like. Soccer has it right, where they have relegation, things like that. Now it'd be really hard to bring that over here, but like as a fan, and I know I'm a player, but as a fan, I wanted my team to win all the time. The Royals, when I was young, never competed, and they only started doing well when they were clinching against me. Unfortunately, going to the playoffs against me, but yeah, like. It's not like it's like, oh, we're going to stink for 5 years and then we'll be better, or we're going to be really good. That's not how that works. Right. Like you're going to try to stink for 5 years, but you're going to actually stink for 25 years.
Yeah. Like the Cubs.
Yeah. I've seen that story before. Yeah.
Now I have to ask you, and you might have some plugs here, but tell us a little bit more about this Drink Better Bourbon.
Yeah.
Is this a friend's company? You're just a big fan?
Yep.
Asking for a friend?
Yeah. So my buddy, Nick Doyle, he is with Treaty Oak Distillery, and and it's in Dripping Springs, Texas, in Austin. But he sends me free bottles of liquor all the time. So, and I do enjoy their 2 bourbons. They have Red Handed, and I can't remember the other one right now.
Tell him thank you.
But yes, it's thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. Yeah, I enjoy their bourbon. We're going to Dallas for Christmas. I'm going to try to head over to Dripping Springs and see the distillery and do that thing. So I'm a big fan. I've been on the bourbon trails when we were in Louisville this year. Big fan of it. Like how it's like all individualized, but like you can, I don't know. It's just a cool process.
Shit, I'm a fan.
Hey, I'm sure he appreciates you swagging it out, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing, too. He sends me free stuff because I like to wear free stuff. So
yeah.
Why not? And it's soft.
Just, we'll fuzz out the White Claw logo and put the patch over the top. And
they're not direct competitors, right? Like
Treaty Oak Spike Seltzer is coming soon.
There you go.
Ooh. Wow. That's
just gave an idea.
Yeah, I know. We will also come to Texas and drink all of your alcohol as well.
We'll bring the podcast gear too.
Well, guys, is there anything else that you want to hit on today before we wrap it up?
Hey,
we talked about baseball economics. Sorry.
Don't be.
All right,
dude. That's part of the process. Again, just over the past few years of the relationship we built, I've seen the growth in just a lot of the player awareness that you've created.
Yeah.
And again, more of the economic side of things. You need to create that awareness, just like college athletes have for what they're doing.
Yep, no doubt.
And a lot of those young guys are very fortunate to have you around to show and pave the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully it makes a difference.
No, I believe it will, bro.
Yeah. It's just when you think that you've accomplished something and that you're going to get one thing and then it's taken away and you feel like you've been robbed, so you don't want other people to do that, so you kind of speak up on it.
Yep. No, I respect that. So what's next?
I'm trying to go play in Japan this year. See what
yeah.
happens. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm all about the experiences right now. I think playing over there would be a really cool experience. I've heard nothing but great things about the education system for my daughter. And
move the whole family.
Yeah. Well, you just, for the 6 months or whatever
sure.
it is. But daughter, little boy, and my wife. I don't know if the 3-legged pup's going to make it, but she can go with Mimi or something for the
puppy.
summer. Yeah.
We are fans of good boys and good girls on the podcast. Yeah, it's true.
We're puppy friendly here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd love this one. She just loves to give kisses and run around and play. She's freaking fast still for 3 legs. She's fast.
See?
You'll have to bring her in next time, huh?
Oh, definitely. That'll get you more views, too. Just like a 3-legged dog, like you're going to get clicks for that. It's clickbait.
Oh, my gosh.
Strategic.
Well, Logan, we can't thank you enough for coming into Media Zone. It's really nice to hear your story. It's I think when people think about sports and athletes, it's a lot of the glitter and what you see on the front of Instagram and stuff. And it's, I think a podcast is a great spot to come in and kind of share some of these stories. And that's what we wanted to do with the Palm Beach podcast is, find some people that have a great mindset, that are, living in the community, working in the community, have connections in the community, and share their story. And I think you're going to resonate with more viewers and listeners than you actually think.
Yep, I agree, man. And truthfully, thank you again for coming on, bro.
Yeah, guys, had fun.
Awesome. Well, Treaty Oak, we're looking forward to the future sponsorship and the Spike Seltzers from you guys.
That's right.
Cheers.
Yeah, and until then, cheers.
Cheers.